You've just tuned in for the latest transmission of Rice Against the Grain. I'm Rice, and on this channel, we go down the rabbit holes of all things stranger than fiction, covering fringe topics and what others may consider or call conspiracies. Law, sovereignty, hidden alternative history, spirituality, and wherever that rabbit hole takes us, even flat Earth. I'm not necessarily a flat earther, but I do question everything. And with that being said, if this topic is not your thing, I do encourage you to explore my channel and check out a different video. If you do have an open mind like myself, you will thoroughly enjoy this interview with David Weiss, aka Flat Earth Dave. Now, let's go down inside the rabbit hole. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on today's show, I am joined by a first-time guest, somebody who I've been very apprehensive about bringing on, but the time is now, and I'll explain the apprehensiveness. Today, I am joined by David Weiss, a.k.a. Flat Earth Dave. What is going on, Dave? How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Chris, I can see why you're apprehensive bringing a flat earther on, but really, you've jumped the shark now, stooping to such a low topic, right? Isn't that how half your audience tuned out already? You got a flat earther on?
I don't know. I'd like to think that my audience, the people that watch my channel, both of my channels, are a little bit more open-minded. And I consider myself an open-minded skeptic as well. So yeah. To kind of give a little bit of a, we said, let's save this for the interview. So I want to go ahead and explain to you a little bit about my viewpoint on flat earth, why I didn't want to cover the topic, and why you're here today. So I didn't think it mattered whether the earth was flat, round, pizza shaped, globe shaped. It didn't, because it didn't, to me, it didn't seem like it was going to change anything, or wouldn't change about how we live or interact.
What difference does it make? I still have to go to work on Monday. That's
right. It's just going to confirm that we're being lied to, which we already know we are. It just proves it. So I'm the open-minded skeptic. I got to question everything, and looking into this more and more and more and more as I've done research and trying to find, because I'm familiar with you and Mark Sargent, and I started trying to get some viewpoints from other people and try to see what other individuals in the flat earth community were saying. And as I'm trying to do searches on YouTube and Google, all I'm getting is people trying to disprove flat earth. Right. And me being so censored and so shadow banned, when I see something like that, it's a red flag. Like, what are you hiding? Is my perspective on that, which makes me even more curious. So Professor Dave, Simon, Dan, I think of their names, are the two that keep coming up the most. And then I saw that atrocious debate. Okay, that wasn't even a debate. And Sean Atwood should be ashamed of himself for not moderating that thing properly. I have a lot of respect for Sean as a content creator and interviewer, but that was a joke.
It was a mess. It was a mess. So here's the thing. And Google always promotes what they think is going to make flat earth look stupid. So they think that video makes flat earth look stupid. And that was a tough interview. I went into it very naive. I thought the guy really wanted to learn, but then I found out he's a propped up agent for whoever you want to say is running this place. It's amazing that the anti-flat earthers, they post a video and it's at the top of YouTube search. You search flat earth, boom, they're right at the top. I could put out a whole bunch of videos. I could put a video called Top 10 Proofs That the Earth is Flat. And then you search top 10 reasons that the earth is flat, and Google will feed you top 10 reasons the earth is a globe.
Yeah, I can't find your YouTube channel searching.
Yeah, you can't find it. So everything is found at flatearthdave.com.
That is an indication, my friend. I want to say that is an indication of something.
The censorship alone turning people into flat earth. People watch that Professor Dave thing. They're like, why is he acting like that? And then a lot of times people will email me, especially right after that came out, but still to this day, it's been years. They'll email me like, "What? I'm not a flat earther. There's no way the earth is flat, but why did that guy act like that?" And I was like, well, thanks for asking. Here, watch these videos. And I'll give them videos that Google's hiding from them. You can find them on my website. You can find them on my app. And they watch them. And then like a day or two later, they email me back. They're like, holy crap, this is real? They're like, holy crap, right? And so if you have no idea what flat earth is, if you think this is flat earth, you're nuts, right? Because no one thinks this is flat Earth other than just people that have no idea, right? And then once you start seeing it and start getting the information and know where to look for the information, I tell people, do not believe me, right? Do not believe anything I say. Don't believe what the trolls say. Don't believe anything. Verify it yourself. You're not stupid. It's stupid, right?
I like that. I love that saying, by the way. Did you trademark that?
Maybe I should, but you can find it in my t-shirt shop if you're interested.
Which you can find at what? Your website, flatearthdave.com?
flatearthdave.com. All my social media is there. My X is there.
Everybody can see it. I got it on screen. Yep. Everything will be linked down below. And I encourage people to make sure you're subscribed directly on the YouTube channels everywhere you can, because again, this information is being suppressed. And I definitely encourage you to have an open mind for this conversation, people. Thank you.
Not so open that you lose the contents of your brain, but I want you to think critically, because you are a critical thinker. They didn't teach us to think in school. They taught us to memorize and regurgitate. You become a teacher, a professor, by doing what? Questioning what's in the books, or just regurgitating it ad nauseum, right?
Right.
Like, I can write the book of bullshit and you can study it, and then I'll test you on it. You get 100. I'm going to give you a certificate. I'm going to give you a diploma, whatever you want to call it. And then when you talk BS with your friends, they can't question you because they're not certified, right? You've got the certificate. So you are the king of BS. And that's what education is, right? On most parts. So
yeah, I'm not a fan of the education system. We're in the same boat, man.
Right. Yeah. So today we're going to make you think, and you said that you're a crypto guy, so maybe your audience is hip to crypto. I offer 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. I'll tell you the challenge later in the show. 1 globe proof, right? If the Earth is a globe, first there would be no flat earthers. But if the Earth is a globe, you have to have 1 good reason, 1 good proof, and that wins you 3 Bitcoins. What's that? $320,000 right now.
321 and some change, maybe right
there
now.
You go.
I'm thinking time of recording this on 12/17, December 17, 2024. I think Bitcoin is sitting at around $107,000.
Yeah. There you go. So no need to check. It's okay, right? But I have no fear.
Right under 107. Yeah. So
I have no fear, because Earth is obviously clearly not a spinning, wobbling rock ball in an impossible space vacuum.
We will be talking about the app and the Dome token as well, which is something that comes out that's out on Pulse Chain. And because I have 2 channels, Dave, what I'll end up doing, I'll include the crypto section in the full interview, but I'll clip the crypto portion of it and put it on my other channel, the Rice Crypto side.
And you've heard to the moon? Well, guess what? The moon ain't that far. Look at the moon on a night when there's some clouds. It's not that far.
I've interviewed Crow 777 with the Saddaloons.
The Crow is the man. That is the best podcast on my app. In the homeschool section, Crow is in there. If anyone doesn't know about Crow, you gotta subscribe to him. Listen to his podcast.
People watch my channel know Crow. They should. Great. If they don't, they do now.
You know what I told a lot of people? I said, don't send your kids to college. College is just an indoctrination system that's going to make you, spend a lot of money. Send them to Crow University. But what I mean by that is, have the kid listen to 1 episode of Crow a day, 4 old ones, 1 new one, 5 days a week. At the end of a month or 2 months or a semester or whatever, your kid's going to be more qualified to operate on this plane. Sorry, not planet. Sorry, that's a bad word. And I've been saying it for a long time. I've been saying it for years. People reached out to me. They're like, you know what? We're about to send our kids to college. We didn't. We rented them a house. We got a bunch of kids together. They're listening to Crow. And now they're all inspired. They stopped playing video games. They want to start businesses. They have all these different ideas. They're like motivated because they're charged up with, real world stuff. They don't teach you real world stuff in school. They teach you slave corporate math. They don't teach you vortex mathematics or sacred geometry. They teach you accounting and managerial accounting and algebra and stuff that could be useful. Yeah, there's some bullshit, but the real math, the 369 vortex mathematics,
the Tesla code.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about anything to do with Elon Musk. We're talking about Nikolai.
Right. And if you want to know about Elon Musk, they give us our savior when we need it. He's not our savior. Okay. On my website, flatearthdave.com, scroll to the bottom right, I believe it says Elon Musk. Go all the way to the bottom.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, all the way to the bottom.
There's a lot of content here. Okay.
Yeah, so no. Go back up a little bit above the podcast, right there on the right-hand side. Nope. You passed it. It says Elon. Nope, down just below that. Just below that. Is there a little delay? Right, one more row. There you go. That row. 4 things. The
four
right,
things right here.
You have it.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
So 100% fraud. It's a 5-minute video, and then it'll show you that you don't need to play it now. It's a 5-minute video showing that everything he said is false. And once you understand that he's not sending rockets into the sky, he's not doing anything, right? And there's a whole bunch of stuff there. Well, why you got that open? On the left, the new Cokes, if you think nuclear bombs are real, that actually links to 4 episodes of Crow that you can listen to and basically show you that nuclear bombs are not as described. And then the next one is Old World Order, teaches you about the old world. There was an advanced civilization here just a couple hundred years ago.
Is this like Tartaria?
Well, yeah, it's an intro. If you haven't looked into it, it's a great done by Sean Hibbler.
Okay, but it is about Tartaria, though, right?
Well, Tartaria and Old World, it's the same thing. Tartaria is that's kind of talking about a civilization, but there is more than just Tartaria. Some people call it Tartaria, some people call it the Old World. I call it the Old World. Okay. And then next to that are the Level series by Sean Hibbler again. Watch those. All of those 4 videos right there will literally change you into a different person.
I don't know that I've seen the Level documentaries. What is the one that came out on Netflix?
That is Behind the Curve. That was a hit piece where they literally edited everything. They changed what happened, and then the Globers that always have to lie. They said that, oh wait, the flat earther buys a $20,000 gyro to prove the Earth is stationary and proves the opposite. False. They edited it and made it look like we thought it was the gyro. Without getting into all the details, it says, it measured a 15-degree-per-hour rotation. We better not let the Globers hear about this. That's where they cut it, right? And it goes, because we have to do a follow-up test to see what's rotating. Is it the Earth or is it the sky, right? So then they did the second half of the test, and it's 100% proved that it's the ether in the sky that is rotating and not the Earth, but they left that out of the movie, right? And then another thing with a laser, we're shooting a laser across a 3-mile canal, and we had 3 boards with holes cut out. If the Earth is a globe, you couldn't thread the needle through all 3 holes. Well, it didn't work. Well, first, the laser melted because it got so hot because we had a condenser on it, because lasers do spread out whether you realize it or not. And so then we just just shine a light, and we showed a light, and the guy goes, I can't see it. He goes, now hold it up over your head. He goes, oh, we see it, right? So he held it up. How high does my hand go? Maybe 2 feet, 3 feet above my head, barely right. 2 feet. It would have to go up like 17 feet to prove that the Earth was a globe. But they literally made it look like that they proved it. It's total hit piece. Propaganda and Netflix are literally the same word.
Well, anything, usually pretty much anything that's, I wouldn't say that's not independent for the most part is going to be some sort of programming. I mean, the tell I vision, tell a vision, however you want to look at it. Before we get too deep in this, I really want to ask you one question is BFE, Before Flat Earth. Who was Dave Weiss in the previous life that you lived? And how and what led you in this direction?
So I always question everything, and I went to college, and then I went into corporate America. I worked in a printing industry, rose to the top of that industry, got bored with that, took a year off. Then I got into the solar power industry, and I joined a company that was all residential. And I was like, why aren't we doing commercial buildings, right? Instead of putting 36 panels up, why don't we put 3,600 panels up? And they're like, oh, you can't do it. You can't finance it. It doesn't work. And I figured out a way to make it work. Of financing it, grants, and all sorts of stuff. And so I built that up to a huge part of the industry. And then they sold the company to a nationwide company that just does residential. And they said, we're not interested in commercial. So I started with a partner that, that we worked together there. We started a solar power development and construction company, and it was doing super well. Right. So on the side, I was doing a podcast called Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. And we were looking into all of the fun conspiracies, the thing that happened in New York, the thing that happened in Boston, the thing that happened in Connecticut at the beachy school, right? And all these other things. And in the third year, this was out of New York City, third year, people started sending me flat earth stuff. Hey, Dave, have you looked into this? Have you looked into flat earth? And first I thought it was a joke. Then it was annoying. Then I just banned people from life. I'm like, you're banned. You can comment. You're banned, banned. I just banning people. And then I'm talking to my friend, Sophia Smallstorm, another researcher. She did a movie, a documentary called 9/11 Mysteries, and another one called Unraveling. I don't want to say it. Schmandy Schmuck in 2, 3, 4, and 5 dimensions. I don't.
Okay, yeah,
right?
I get what you're saying. The entity that took down sued Mr. Jones, Alex.
Yeah. Easy. Don't say that name either.
I think that's I don't know. I feel like I don't know what we can and can't say anymore, Dave.
You can't say anything. How about that? and so she's like, Dave, you got to look into flat Earth. And I was like, okay, send me what you got. Right. And she actually sent me Mark Sargent's clues and then some other stuff. And I didn't go in with an open mind. I went in with a closed mind. I'm just going to disprove flat Earth, prove the globe, and get done with all of these idiots. Right. And for 2 weeks, I didn't sleep. I'm looking. And back then in 2014, YouTube would feed you really good. Oh, you like that? Watch this. Like that? Watch this. And all this content was getting uploaded and just get fed right into your feed. And so I said, that's not going to believe a video. I've seen boats go over the horizon, right? I live on the water. I've seen boats go over the horizon. And so I went out and I bought, at that time, the Nikon P900 came out, a super zoom camera. And I went down to the beach and I had a perfect day. Cool, calm, super clear, and it's super clear. And dry. And I zoomed in on a buoy that was over 10 miles away. Well, it should have been behind 60 plus feet of curvature, right? When I say behind curvature, you can't see my mouth because it's behind curvature. It's physical curvature, right? On a flat Earth or a globe Earth, atmosphere can be thicker and it'd limit your visibility, right? Mm-hmm. So on a foggy day, you can only see so far. But on a perfectly clear day on a globe, there's a limit to how far you can see due to the physical curvature. Yeah. And due on the size that they tell us the globe is 24,901 miles around, there would be a 6-foot drop at 3 miles. So if you're a 6-foot tall person, super clear day, super calm water, the farthest you can see the surface of that water is just 3 miles because the rest would be behind a physical curve. But you can't see it. You can see much farther than that. And then I was like, well, what about boats over the horizon? So here, you don't see a boat, but as we zoom in, we're increasing our angular size. And as we increase the angular size, all of a sudden you go, oh, look, there is a boat there, right? It's because it was beyond our ability to see. Now, my finger can't hide that boat right here, but if my finger was a wave in the foreground, that boat is getting smaller and smaller, and it could hide the whole boat. These little waves are hiding that boat, and it's getting too small for the resolution limits of your eyes. And you can't see it
too. I've seen this too, like being at a beach and watching a boat that you could see, and it starts to become out of sight as well. And it's obviously because it's traveling further away.
Right. And then
seeing it get smaller in the process. Kind of the same thing like when you're driving down a highway and you have street lights. They don't look as big until you come upon them, and then they are all of a sudden.
Right. And the globe components will say, well, Dave's just showing a small boat, try a big boat. And they'll show like a big tanker in the distance and closer. And then when it's in the distance, you can't see half of it. And it's a good argument, but it's always windy and wavy on those days. So they got big waves. So here it's just a rudimentally drawing. You got a 6-foot tall person and a 3-foot wave. Could that 3-foot wave hide that boat? Doesn't seem like it could, right?
No, it doesn't.
But so if I'm looking over this wave, I can't see the water in between here and here, right? Because this wave is blocking me. There's physical curvature, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I move that wave out, this area gets bigger. If I move it out farther, this area I can't see of the water gets bigger. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
So look at this line. It's becoming more level looking. Look how big this area is now. And so out here, I'm going to shrink the boat down. So I can see the bottom of the boat because I can see right over the wave, right? If it was a little closer, that wave would be hiding it. So as this boat goes out farther and farther, I just put this wave out here. It's very small.
You see it?
But you know how the sky and the ground come together in the distance and the sides come in all to the vanishing point? What they don't teach you about is called foreshortening, where the back gets compressed into the front. So each one of these distances is they're going to make the boat shrink a certain percentage. Let's say it shrinks 50% in each distance, or 25, 50%, doesn't matter. So it's going to shrink 50% here. It's going to get 50% smaller there. It's going to 50 more there, 50 there. So from here to here, there's another 25 or 50 of them. So it doesn't get any farther in your visual range. It just gets smaller, right? So it's just getting smaller, smaller and smaller and smaller, but it doesn't appear to be getting any farther away. Let me show you a real world example of that. If I can find it real quick. So here is, right. So here is, I got 3 lines. The distance from here to here is, I don't know, whatever the distance is. And the distance from this line to this line looks much smaller. But if we look at what this really is, this is me down at the beach here. Now, this one is pointing at this island here, which is about a quarter of a mile away. This one is on the New York City skyline, which is 25 miles away. So from here to here is a quarter mile, and from here to here is 100 more of these distances crunched into there. So you see, if I had a boat, the boat's going to get smaller and smaller. And now it's not going to go much farther into my visual field. It's just going to have to get smaller 100 more times. So it's going to disappear. It's going to disappear. And if there's waves here, it's going to go behind the waves. A 3-foot wave can block a city skyline because the city skyline is just going to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's going to disappear into the horizon. And the other thing is,
if it's far enough away, though.
Absolutely, right. Absolutely. And then the other thing is the atmosphere gets really thick as you get down low. And so it's called the marine layer. That atmosphere becomes opaque over distance. Okay? It literally becomes opaque, and it'll hide the bottoms of boats because the angle that you're seeing, and there's also, when you look across the water, the farther out you look, you're going to get miraging, and you get that atmospheric thing, and everything just goes into the horizon. So let me show you perspective. Here's a sun setting, and here's a coin setting. Now, why is that coin setting? Well, because the camera is a little bit lower than the horizon. Makes sense, right? Right?
That is such. I know. I've seen this, and this is a weird optical illusion.
So here's, look, check this out. Here's the sun, and I'm going to keep it above. I'm going to keep it above my hand, and as it goes away, it's still above my hand. And it looks like it sets, but that's right. So when you look out over the water, you're like, well, the water's never above my feet, right? But the thing is, this horizon here is 20 or 30,000 feet above the person, right? It's because the atmosphere, let's say there's 20,000 feet of atmosphere, compresses, and over distance, it becomes opaque, and it appears to be at your eye level, right? So let me show you here.
Well, if we think that we're revolving around the sun and we're not, what in fact, from your vantage point and with flat Earth, what is the sun doing?
The sun is circling around us. You always hear about the sun circles. We don't circle the sun circles. The sun goes around. So let me show you on my app here. So the sky is a perfect clock, right? Wherever the sun is, it's noon. So out here, this yellow line is the Tropic of Capricorn. That's our winter solstice. The sun moves out to the Tropic of Capricorn, and wherever the sun is, it's noon. It's noon on the east coast of Australia right now. It's noon in central Australia. It's noon in Western Australia. It's midnight over here, okay? So when it's noon here, it's midnight here in New York, okay, or in Connecticut, the east coast of the United States. So wherever the sun is, it goes around. Now look, as the sun goes out, see how the light pattern kind of wraps around? That's because of the dome. We can have another discussion another time. We don't have time to get into that. But if I move the sun, it migrates every 6 months to the Tropic of Cancer in June. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in June, the sun moves in here. And now notice the pattern is different because it's not wrapping around the dome. And when it's closer to me in America, it's higher. So like a sun, like a street light above me, that's my summer sun, and the street light down the road, that's my winter sun. They're both the same height, but one is up and the other one is lower in the sky. Even though they're the same height, but they appear lower. All right. So the sun keeps track of the hours and the days, and the moon. So I'm going to speed it up. The moon gets lapped by the sun once every 28, 29 days, right? So the moon and its phases keep track of the weeks and the months. Right? There used to be,
I know.
There used to be 13,
I love etymology.
Yeah, there used to be 13 months of 28 days plus 1 day to reset the year on April 1st, the new year, and that's 365.
Yeah,
right.
And that would have actually made every Sunday on the 1st, Monday 2nd.
Yeah, absolutely.
And on every month for 13 months. It's really interesting.
Wait, one more. Let me just finish. So you turn on the stars. The stars are going faster than the sun, but slightly faster, where it takes 365 trips around for them to lap. So the sun will drift back through each zodiac for about a month. And that's how the sun is in your zodiac.
Okay, well, this is a perfect time for me to ask you about this. And I noticed that on the DITRH channel, you made a comment about this in, I think, the most recent video. So let me go ahead real quick and pull this up, because this is something I was going to wait on, but it seems very relevant to what you were talking about.
Sure.
The final experiment. What is this all about, my friend? Can you explain to me? Because I think, and this has something to do with the sun, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely. So the final experiment is not final, and it's not an experiment. It's a guy who claims to be a pastor of a little crappy little church in Denver, and he comes out of nowhere and he goes, I have the final experiment, and it's all mysterious and it's all publicity. And because on a flat earth, you could have a circling sun in the north, but how could you have a circling sun in the south? And we all said there is no circling sun in the south, because all the webcam footage for the last decade, they literally cut out 8 to 10 hours when it should be a circling sun. If there's a 24-hour sun, they cut it out. All the videos that popped up when we started talking about there's no 24-hour sun were provenly fake. The flat earthers say the videos are fake. No, we say they're fake because they are fake, right? And so all of this evidence that said there's no circling sun came out, and so we didn't think there was a sun. So they actually spent like $500,000 flying flat earthers down there and a bunch of globe deceivers, and they saw a circling sun. So there's a couple options on how that can happen. One, we have a biblical model built based on the God's word, and it actually shows a circling sun. I'll show you that in a second. And the other thing is, maybe they've got some fallen angel technology out there, and that wasn't a real sun. But those guys said it looked real. They were getting sunburn, but I don't know. But here's the thing. I'm not going to make any claims.
It's over with, though?
It's over. They're actually flying back right now. They literally just left like an hour ago.
Yeah, I thought this was I thought the timer when I looked at it a couple days ago was
active. They were supposed to stay 2 more days, but a storm is coming in. So they're like, if you don't leave now, you're going to be stuck here for a week and you're going to miss Christmas. So they all like, get me the hell out of here, because it's not a very hospitable place.
Still ballsy. It's still ballsy to go to Antarctica.
Oh, absolutely. And the guys that went are awesome, and they're just reporting on the truth, and they're already being called shills, or like, there's no way, right? I have my opinions on what's going on there, whether it's fake, which a lot of people are like, how the hell could it be fake? Whether it's fake or whether it's this biblical model, which perfectly explains it, it doesn't matter. Because the lights in the sky do not dictate the physical measurements of the earth, right? First, they want to talk about the movement of the sun. What is the sun? The sun is 98% helium and hydrogen, which defy gravity here on Earth. Gas violently fills the available space, always, at the gas law. You need a container. Hey, come to my house. Let's have a barbecue. You bring the propane, but don't bring a container. Can you do it? No, you can't, because the gas will violently fill the available space. And we can prove that gravity doesn't hold gas down. But in space, helium and hydrogen collapse upon each other because of gravity, and have so much gravity they can hold on to Pluto, but they can ignore our moon. Right? When the moon is coming around the Earth towards the sun, don't you think it should speed up a little bit and slow down as it goes the other way? Right? But the sun's gravity ignores the moon. Space is stupid. It's retarded. It's ridiculous. It's the dumbest thing ever, right? So let me show you though on how a day and night works. So we see in what's called an azimuthal grid of vision. So we see in our personal atmospheric dome. This isn't a theory. This is just how we see. And so the sun actually circles all the way around the flat Earth. This is the flat Earth map, but we see it in this local dome. So let me show you. You'll see the sun coming around, right? So why is that going so fast? Slow that down. Oh, no, actually, this is just showing the sun migrating super fast between the two tropics, out the Tropic of Capricorn into the Tropic of Cancer. And this is the light on the Earth, how it changes. But notice when it goes all the way out here, when it goes all the way out, there's no darkness out here, right? Even when the sun is over here, there's still light out here. So we can explain that. It's called the coffee cup caustic. I don't want to get too technical for your people here, but now let's look at, this is December in the north, right? So in the north, the sun will come around. So that's the moon right there. And here comes the sun. And watch, when the sun comes close, you'll see the sun rise right there. So out here, the sun's all the way out here. So if you're in the north in December, the sun's far away. It's low in the sky. And so that's the path it takes. And then you don't see it when it's over here. And I'll show you why that is. Now let's look at 24-hour in the north in June, right? So in June, the sun is making a smaller, tighter loop. And then watch, the sun will rise right here. It'll meet and then go down. And that's how we see the sun. We see an apparent sun, right? And now I'm going to show you Antarctica in December, right? In December, you're out here and the sun, look what the sun's doing. It's going around. It's never setting. It's never setting. So this is a model. Now
this would be constant daylight in Antarctica.
Well, it is constant daylight. We knew there was constant daylight. That's easy because of the wrapping of the dome. We can actually prove that, but we didn't think that there was a 24-hour sun in the sky. So we thought that a circling sun was a proof that fits into the works on a globe only bowl, the circling sun in the south. But now that we've looked, we found we've actually built a physical model that actually shows that. So let me show you.
Whoever built that model, that's really cool, and it kind of also has like a toroidal. It's a hard word to pronounce, structure to it.
Yeah. So let me show you.
Donut kind of. That kind of goes back to the 369.
Absolutely. So where is it? So since you brought this up, let's address this because this is a hot topic right now, and a lot of people will be interested in hearing about this. So here, this is me. We're at a little flat Earth conference, and I'm just circling my iPhone light above this dome. And when you're there, it literally looked like a spherical sun floating in the middle of this model. And I'm just bringing my iPhone in a circle above.
It kind of has that effect on screen though too, because it doesn't look like it looks like it's inside the glass.
It does. And so I think that the sun that we see is an apparent sun. And no matter where you go on this earth, if it's a biblical model is correct, you're always circled by the sun, right? And you can relate the SON to the SUN all day long. Everything they say about both are the same. It walks on water when you're watching the sunset. You have a personal relationship with the sun. It feeds you. It warms you. You know, it brings life. It does everything, right? It makes you see. So I'm trying to think if I have. Oh, you know what? I can pull.
But I'm not one of the thing you're talking about is astrotheology, and I'm not one to dismiss the figure, the entity of Christ, Yeshua. I believe that there is imitations of, and I think that Christ can be compared to the sun because of the Creator.
Right, but I'm not saying Christ didn't live here on Earth. I'm thinking that we all have our spirit. Like, I think that our souls, this is me talking, not talking for anyone else, that our souls, our spirit, our soul comes from the stars, from an angelic form, and we're having these physical experiences here. And maybe Jesus came from the sun. It's just, the Son of God, right? So this is called the coffee cup caustic, and it shows you how light can wrap all the way around inside of a bowl. It's just optics. So that's not even a theory. It's, again, we know that it was 24-hour light in Antarctica. But on my channel, DETOXIFY, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. So on the app, if I go to what am I looking for? Frequently asked questions, and it will say Antarctica and the 24-hour sun. And let me just go to the first one. I want
to remind people too that they can find your channels at your website at flatearthdave.com, and then you scroll down a little bit and you will see all the links. There's a lot of information here. Here we go.
So oops, I'm not showing the model. Let me just go here. This is really hard to show, but so this is Joe Hanvey. He built this model. It's a little hard to see. And so he's got a globe here, and then he's got a two-way mirror here, which represents the superfluid of the sky. God separated the waters from the waters and created the firmament. And then he's got stars on his ceiling circling around. And when you look down, you see this one star field, right? Let me, hold on a second. Let me just go to the second video.
That is a pretty cool app, I have to say.
Yeah, the app does a lot. So that thing I was just showing you, we're looking at it from the side right now, but I'm just going to jump forward a little bit. So now we're looking up at his ceiling. That's what he's got on the ceiling. So when we look down, we see that entire star field spinning around. Well, that explains the northern stars spinning around Polaris, right? But when he goes underneath, watch what happens. So right now he's looking down. It's a little hard to see. We're looking down and we see the star field. So we got Polaris and it's just spinning around. But if he goes, I'm just jumping forward here to save time because it goes a little bit. So when he goes underneath, he sees this separate star field in the outer south. So this is the top, but then you see this reflecting star field rotating in the opposite direction in the south, which completely matches what those guys just saw in Antarctica.
Okay.
So it's an excellent video on my website. My DITRH stands for Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole YouTube channel. It's one of the top.
I was wondering what the hell that stood for. Thank you for telling me.
Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole is what it stands for.
Awesome. Real quick, you got the app there. I want to let people know we're going to talk more about the app towards the end of the video, but there is a invite referral code if you're going to download this thing, and as a way to support my channel, make sure you're using the code RICE, RICE, in the referral. Is it referral code? Is that what is the proper term?
So what we have here, what you're seeing here, these are the people that have my app right around me. Let me just show people that, they think that, if the Earth was a globe, there'd be a proof and there'd be no flat earthers. But this is the UK, right? I think
let me see North Carolina, because you told me there was a lot in North Carolina.
So
there's a lot of flat earthers out there. That's a lot of blue.
Yeah, these are and these are just the people that have it turned on right now. So there's Charlotte.
I'm in Winston-Salem. I don't mind. Yeah. Most people know like I'm in Camel City.
I mean, look at this, right? So
that's a lot of people in North Carolina.
So again, in the friend finder, if you click the middle button here, this is the referral area. You'll have a random number here. If you get the app, just check it off. Use the pencil and then put in anything up to 7 characters. Your referral code is RICE. So when you download the app, it's going to say, do you have a referral code? Just type in RICE. He'll get a point. Right. And the points, we used to just have points where the points, you get 11 points, and there's the app costs $3 one-time charge. But if you want to use the social media, the dating app, the matchmaker, if you want to message other people, it's $11 a year, because that service actually costs me more than $3, for your using it. Sure. So, yeah. So again, as I say, did you ever buy anyone a margarita? Right. 20 minutes later, it's pissed out. You get this forever. So you get your points, but you also earn Dome cryptocurrency. All the information's here. Domeshot.io is the website if you want to learn more about it. And right now you get 1.5 million Dome from now until Christmas. But from now until New Year's, we have double points, double Dome, right? And
Domeshot.io.
Domeshot.io is the website. Check it out. Watch the videos there. You'll learn all about it. And on flatearthdave.com, right under the app banner, it says learn how to gift the app and set up your Dome wallet. All the information's right there. So what is the app for? The app is to bypass the stupid Google censorship and have things at your fingertips.
I have a private website with my videos there, so it's a way to make yourself uncensorable, and it's one of the smartest things you could have done, Dave.
Yeah. So I'm actually, all my stuff is on flatearthdave.tv also, which is a Web3 server. And so, again, I'm still on YouTube because that's where the normies are. You go out to somebody that's still in the Matrix, They don't ever even heard of Rumble, right? You could believe it. They're just on you. Well, you go on YouTube. That's where you go. So that's why we stay on YouTube, because even though with the censorship, we are getting around. We're getting on all these shows, and we're helping people wake up. So every day, here's the challenge for the 3 Bitcoins. Every day, there's a daily video right here. Just watch it. I usually make sure, excuse me, short ones during the week, a little longer on the weekend sometimes. And you have to watch it for 2 weeks. Easy. Watch it while you're having your tea or coffee in the morning, whatever you have. And at the end of that, if you think you have a glow proof, send it to me. But before you do, click the question mark button. And that brings you to the FAQ page. And you'll be like, oh, all right, where it has all sorts of stuff like where does the sun go? Great videos. My favorite section is why the lie. That's amazing. What about the ISS? Mind blowing. Just it just totally destroys NASA. The circling sun in Antarctica.
I'm really looking forward to exploring this thing, man. You've done a great job. Whoever helped build it with you, it's excellent. So shout out to you and the team. And I definitely encourage people to check it out and use my promo.
There's a homeschool section, amazing stuff. This guy, I'm actually having an interview with him, Darius J. Wright. He's an out-of-body experiencer. Oh, amazing information. And the word he uses for this place is a construct, and I like it. I like it better than simulation. But there's all sorts of stuff in here. Crow, I got Crow in here. Amazing stuff. And then I have the Old World page, right? Old World Order. You got to watch that if you don't know about it. Amazing. My Lunch Break. Have you watched him? My Lunch Break. He's on every platform. YouTube, puts out 1 or 2 videos a week. Mind blowing. Okay.
No, I'll definitely explore some of these people, because they're probably people that, just like trying to find information on you and it being censored, they're probably people who are being suppressed. And I've noticed, like, if you see somebody who's really popular, I mean, yes, sometimes I think some people get through the algorithm, but most of the time they're just controlled opposition.
And here's the thing. Don't believe anything I say. And the trolls are going to show up on your video like never before when you say you got Dave Weiss on. They're going to, because when you're over the target, the flack is hot. And
I've had some interesting ones, but I know I know this is going to be. I know what I'm getting into, Dave. Thank you.
Me. But it's okay. But it's all right. But here's the thing. They actually are making more flat earthers, because they're going to come on and say, Dave's a grifter. He's a scammer. He knows his app doesn't work. He uses globe math. Circling sun proves him to be a liar. They're going to say everything, right? But it's all nonsense. It's all absolute nonsense. They will never offer a proof. They will only attack, call names, straw man, all sorts of. Globers, their favorite line is, no flat earther will ever address how the sun sets. I address it all the time. I completely explain it, and nobody wants to, they just don't want to hear it because it destroys their little globular cartoon world.
Well, regardless of the blowback or any of the trolls, I still would like to have future conversations and explore these things, because I'm an open-minded skeptic, and I want to be able to explore this as detailed as possible. Because let me tell you, like you said, the DITRH is down. What is it again? Deep
inside the rabbit hole.
As I went deep inside the rabbit hole, you start think you're going in a bunch of different rabbit holes. Then you start realizing some of these rabbit holes are interconnected. Then you realize it's all just one big rabbit hole. And when it comes down to the common denominator of what is the problem, what is the issue, it comes down to my perspective, spiritual warfare. And that is what brought me here to this conversation with you. And I think that will lead into towards the end of what we're going to be talking about. Why are we being lied to about this? We don't have to rush, but
we can go there. Because it is the best question. But here's the thing: if you walk into a room and there's a whole bunch of dead bodies, you don't go, "What's the motive? Why would they do that?" The dead bodies are there. I'm showing you the dead bodies today. All right, we can figure out the motive later. Right. But I know the motive. It's literally to hide the creator. How do you dilute something? You pour it into infinite space. Right. And I wanted expanding space.
I wanted to let people know, too, that I wanted to have this open conversation and be able to try to learn in an open, organic way, regardless of what people are thinking about this. So that's why I really want to encourage people to have an open mind. But as you say, not too open so that your mind falls out.
Yeah, you don't want, you just again, when you look at how things go in the sky. Here are streetlights. They're all the same height. Here's the sun. It's all the same height. It just goes away. This horizon is thousands and thousands of feet above your eye level, right? Let me show you. I did a little physical experiment. It just got inspired one day, and I call this my flat Earth kitchen, okay? So I got this line here, and we're looking at it from a celestial point of view. It means an elevated point of view. And I'm running the sun along this line, showing you that it's level to my counter. The counter's right here. It's a little dark. And I got this wall, this thing here. This could be mountains. It could be cloud deck, but we're above it, clearly. Now I have a terrestrial camera at the other end of the counter on the counter looking up. So your point of view would see this straight and level line as this. Does that look level? Right? This is your horizon. It's well above the camera, and it's going beyond it, not below it. It's going beyond it. You think that's the edge of the ball Earth. And if I zoom in on it, look at this line. This is a level line. This line is level, right? But that's how you see it. That's how we see the world, right? And now compare it to a real sunset. So this is going away, level. This is going away. What's it going behind here? This is called the atmospheric deck of opacity. That could be mountains in the distance, but I know that this shot, that's literally just the atmosphere where it becomes too opaque to see. And it just goes beyond it, right? Now, let me show you another thing that happens. What happens when it's super clear, right? So here's from an airplane. The sun's over here. It's nighttime over here. They can't see the sun. It's set hours ago, but the sun's really right there. Right? That's because the Earth is flat. But watch what happens on a super clear day. Super clear day, right? The sun, because the Earth is spinning, should go down, 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 and it should keep on going. But it kind of stops. I slow it down right here. And it just sits there, and it goes into the soup of the atmosphere. Watch again. Nice and slow, right? And this is still sped up, actually. And its light.
Yeah, it looks like it's being swallowed almost.
It can't push through anymore, so it takes its light with it. Let me show you another one. So here it is again, a different one, right? It just fades out. It literally went down, 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 and it stopped, and it sat here for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and it just couldn't push through anymore. Its energy is not infinite.
That's
right?
Crazy to see that.
And so this one I watched went down, 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 down. Now I got some friends that are down at the beach over here. They saw the sunset from the bottom up 10 minutes ago. I'm still looking at it 3 miles away with my drone looking west. It's still there. You just can't see it.
And I see what you're saying, and I'm not refuting it at all. Just the thing for me too is I'm not a scientist. I'm not educated in some of these areas, so it's hard for me to refute in some ways. I just feel like something is not right.
Well, you give away your authority. It's called the what's it called?
Dominion.
When you give your authority away to somebody else, it's a fallacy. Where that they're smarter than you. They're not smarter than you. They're more indoctrinated than you, right? So here is, let me show you this. So here's our perspective grid, and here's this guy's eye line right here, and you got the clouds, you got the sky, you got the ground, and we'll throw in these mountains here. So these mountains, let's say they're 3,000 feet above his eye line, right? And so if I move those mountains into the distance, let's say 25 miles, they're still a flatter globe. They're still thousands of feet above his eye line. And the sun is up here. So if the sun goes away, it goes beyond the mountain. It goes beyond the mountain. It's not below the horizon.
Right. It's not going down. It's just going back.
It's going back. It's going beyond the mountain. Okay. And so beyond the mountain is all it's doing. It's just going beyond. And then these clouds, are going into that same line. The sun's above it. It's just going beyond it. It's literally just going beyond it. For those of you that aren't quite grabbing that, let's take a look at this. Where to go?
And I've seen some of the laser experiments and stuff where where everything is seemingly, where they're showing things are level. I guess
Absolutely.
that might be part of the Level documentaries. Maybe I did see the one episode, the first episode.
Level, then the next level, and then Level with Me. I think I'm in the next level and Level with Me. I think I was in both of them.
You seem to be like the face of flat Earth right now.
Well, I'm just the most outspoken, and I've really dedicated my life to spreading this message because I walked away from a very large, my own business. I walked away from the whole thing because my research was interfering. And I felt that this message is the most important message. Like, how can you say that, Dave? There's child trafficking and there's all sorts of stuff. It's because all of that stuff they get away with it because everyone's lost in space, spinning out of control. They don't know who they are. They don't know what this place is. They don't believe in creation. Once you see God's creation, the flat Earth, you can no longer deny his existence. Right.
So, and that to me goes right back to the spiritual warfare aspect. Man.
Oh, this is total spiritual warfare. And that's how how you win a spiritual war. You tell everyone that it's not a real thing.
Right.
Right. You tell them it doesn't exist.
Just create doubt.
If you were a brand new person to this earth, you wouldn't know what the hell you're looking at here. But you're looking at a pier. The pier is higher than the water because his feet aren't wet. This boat is sitting on the water, so it's a little bit lower than the pier, even though it looks higher. The sun is probably above the clouds. That makes sense. Right? You can sort all this out in your mind in a nanosecond, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the 50-story building?
Where is the 50-story building?
Yeah.
It's behind, it's in front of the picture. It's not included.
No, it's right there. We're looking straight up.
Go back.
We're looking straight up.
Now he's standing on a dock right there, right?
He's not standing on a dock. I took this picture.
Okay.
And I put a dock on it and I put water around it. And I literally changed your perception of what you were seeing.
Well, perception, right? That's the other thing I've been thinking of too with what you've been saying is from psychology, perception is reality. Even
if I did this, you'd be like, oh, those are some sort of tiles on a dock. That's a kind of cool dock, right? But then once I remove all the other nonsense, you can see, oh, that's a building, right? And so we're looking straight up in the building and it's 12 noon, right? So we wait an hour and the sun goes where? Below the horizon or beyond the building?
Beyond the building.
Beyond the building, exactly. Right?
Because we can't see beyond the building. It's
just beyond the building. Now, how could we see that mountain again? How could we see that? How can we see that again? Right? If we went backwards, we could see it. So perspective grid, here's our guy, here's our mountain. Sun goes beyond the mountain. We move the mountain away because I can't move myself backwards. Right? So the sun goes farther, it goes beyond the mountain. And then if we add the cloud deck in, all of that 20,000 feet of atmosphere is getting compressed into this line. The sun is going beyond this line. It's not Earth curve. It's 3,000 feet above his eyes is the mountaintop. And then another 10 to 20,000 feet of compressed atmosphere is on top of that. That's all it is. It's the way we see. It's the way we see.
And again, if you understand psychology, which I think a lot of this propaganda, I think even that word might have come from Bernays, which was a nephew of Sigmund Freud.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you understand how to psychologically warp people with things, and we've just like you said, it's just been conditioning. And that's, basically like another point you're making with the education system being indoctrination camps.
Yeah.
Because it and everything that we're doing, it just conditions you to believe in this particular way, so that if you start to go against the grain, you're going to be labeled in some crazy fashion, which of course they've done to you.
Yep. So there's so much more. What questions? So we'll call you at this point maybe a slight globe skeptic, right?
I call myself a rounder. This is what I used to call myself back in the day, because it's going to be round either way, and I'm right either way. It's round.
Well, there you go. There you go. Round, a circle. Like Isaiah in the Bible.
Whether it's flat, whether it's a pizza flat, whether it's a snow globe, whether it's a ball, it's round. So I'm right.
Well, so round. That's
I'm a rounder.
You're a rounder. That's good. I'll take it. The people say, well, the Bible says the Earth is a globe because
I'm listen.
Circle of the Earth.
I'm not saying that I believe that the Earth is flat at this moment, but I'm starting to. I'm not
starting to question things.
I'm very much questioning everything, Dave.
Don't believe.
Like and I want people to do the same thing. And people can think whatever they want to think. But again, this comes down to spiritual warfare. And if I believe in the Bible and the things that were said in the Bible, I'm going to be ridiculed for this, just saying what I just said, just like what Dave just said. So
right here,
part of the propaganda.
The biblical section. This is just all sorts of videos, great videos here. But here's a series called Biblical Cosmology Remastered. This pastor I believe he's in South Carolina, did this series, and this guy put it together with images and everything. It's fantastic. Here's a 24/7 truth of biblical videos. Amazing. Every Sunday morning, Marty Leeds does a Gnostic church, flat earth based church, and it's amazing. And he swears a lot. If you're looking for a pastor that swears a lot, this is the place to go.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with swearing because that's not mentioned in the Bible. There's a amazing place for being.
Listen, Marty Leeds, and you could watch the old ones here, but it's kind of fun to watch live. But you can just click and watch any old ones. This last week, what's today? Today is Tuesday, the 17th of December. So last Sunday was phenomenal. It's so good. I'm going to watch it again. I encourage people to watch that one. It'll blow your mind. And then these guys teach flat Earth from a biblical standpoint to kids. They have a online homeschool. Sign up. It's the friggin' best. It's amazing.
It's off topic. There is a channel, and I'll ask him very flat out specifically because I think he might be in the direction of flat Earth, but he's a crypto channel and he does technical analysis with gematria, astrology, and numerology. And his channel is called Waters Above.
I love it. It
was originally Waters Above crypto. It was originally Waters Above crypto, but it's Waters Above.
You asked me before the show, is Roseanne Barr have my podcast behind a paywall? So on the app, we have a video search because I don't even know where it's so hard to find videos because YouTube won't serve them to you. And I'll just type in Roseanne.
Yeah, I saw that she had you on. And I couldn't find the video. And then I also saw the actual interview that you did with Jim Brewer, which I complimented as well. Again,
so here's my Roseanne Barr podcast. Here's a bunch of shorts she put out. So easy to find. And if we type in Jim Brewer.
Did she fly you to Hawaii?
No, she was in Texas.
Oh, okay, cool.
I
think she lives there as well.
She does. She has a couple places. So if I search Jim Brewer, up comes our podcast. This is there's a couple. The shorts. There's all sorts of stuff. This guy named Robot Polisher does amazing clips with music and everything of all sorts of stuff. And this again on Roseanne and Jim, I have the number one. I think it's number one on Roseanne, but number one by far a viewed podcast. Not because I'm awesome, which maybe I am, but because you're a good communicator, awesome. Dave. I do my best. Listen,
the topic is so taboo is the thing.
After I've done 1,200 interviews or more than 1,200 since 2021. That's a lot of interviews. And I better be good at it by now. So
and you sound scholarly as well because with some of these debates and learning scientific stuff, you have obviously learned a lot more information than you knew before getting into this.
If you want a list of all of the best globe proofs, when the trolls show up on your channel and start saying all this crap about me, click on their channels because those are the globe proof channels, right? And you'll find that there's absolutely zero content on their channel. Zero.
No content, period.
No content, no videos.
Yeah. Believe me, dude, I believe it because just covering all the things that I've covered, getting into the legal fiction law element.
Yes.
There's controlled opposition for anything that has legitimacy. So that way the best way to confuse people is to mix a little bit of lies. You don't need a lot, just a little bit of lies with some truth. That's all you need to do. And there's a lot of that going on for anything that I think is relevant information. And again, awesome. if you're popular, you're either you got through the algorithm or you're controlled opposition show.
Right. So without going, we can look at photos of Earth, all fake, provably fake. We can take the time. We can look at stuff on the ISS, green screens, augmented reality, harnesses. NASA has the largest green screen studio either in America or in the world. And they're clients of this company that does trapeze flying for green screens. They're listed on their website as a client. Okay. Weird. Right.
I didn't know that. Okay. Now, because I was going to push back about the thing about, do you have your image of the NASA founders that I call it a meme,
yeah,
because
yeah,
apparently
it is a meme, but I have to restate what it is. So if I type in founders,
because I'm not saying that it's incorrect, but it doesn't look like many of those individuals were even involved at all.
Well, that's not 100% correct. Werner von Braun is the Nazi scientist that was brought over to run NASA. Fact, right? Then we have Ronald Hubbard, Scientology, and Walt Disney. These guys were all involved with each other. The Jet Parsons Project. These guys, Aleister Crowley, they all had relationships, and NASA was born out of their relationships. They're not the founders.
I just want to push back on that part.
No, absolutely. And I was wrong, correcting myself, right? Because I translated into founders. What I meant to say is they were the inspiration behind NASA.
Almost like what took place with the Federal Reserve and Jekyll Island.
Yeah.
Because it was the people that went to, because not all the people that in Jekyll Island were officially involved in the creation of the Federal Reserve, but the idea was born there.
Right. And then you look at all the stuff, nonsense going on in the space station. They're all doing their little devil signs, and everything is 666 in space, right?
I've never thought to connect Walt Disney and Aleister Crowley. I had to do a little bit more digging on that one. I know there's some weird shit with Disney at the 666 in the logo and all that.
Right. Look, this is Donald Trump. This is the Space Force logo, right?
Baphomet.
Flip it over. What do you got? It's Baphomet, even with the star, everything. Like, that's no coincidence. Nobody does that by accident, right? And then if you look at the numbers for NASA, whoops, let me just make that bigger. It says the Earth axis orbits an inclination of around the sun at 66.6 degrees, orbits the sun at 66,600 miles per hour. The Earth's circumference is 600 times 6 times 6 nautical miles. The speed of the sun is 666 knots per second. The force of gravity on Earth is 666 newtons. The Arctic and Antarctic circles are exactly 66.6 degrees. Astronaut Peggy Whitson spent 666 days in space. It goes on and on and on. And it's crazy. National Aeronautics and Space Administration with the reverse or ordinal, where 1 is 26 and Z is 1. It comes out to 666.
Well, interestingly enough,
how many coincidences do you need?
In the Bible, Revelation 13:18 says, "This calls for wisdom. Let one who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and his number is 666." I know there's been a talk about mistranslation being 616, 666, but what you showed is obviously. I don't believe in coincidences anymore, my friend.
You're not a coincidence theorist. So,
No.
but here's the thing. The preponderance of evidence is
one or two things may be coincidental, but what you just showed, that's not coincidental.
Yeah, there's even so much more. On the frequently asked questions page, there's I highly recommend the ISS button. Amazing button. All sorts of fraud there. I mean, we can show you wires and augmented reality and just faking stuff. And there's some really, really creepy stuff. We got a minute, right? Let's look at a couple. First here, let me show you. This is the company called ZFX, right? So this is Buster Keaton, right? And this is an old movie, and he's hanging from wires clearly, and you can see the wires pulling on his pants. You see the wire right there?
Yeah.
Right. So we got Buster Keaton. Let me just fast forward a little bit, and so here we have on the space station. This guy is clearly. Why is this guy holding his knees up? He's in 0G. He doesn't have strong abs. That's why. He's got to hold his knees up. And this is the wires right here. You can see he's on a belt, right? And why do these guys always have these heavy pants on with tucked in shirts and heavy belts? Are their pants going to fall down in space? Why is he holding his knees up?
Right.
And so this guy loops around, goes out of control. This guy's trying to fix it. He grabs his wire. Watch. He grabs it and pulls him over, right? He grabs it and pulls him over. So they have wire mishaps all the time, right? So you got this here. And then this guy did his flip at the end of their thing, and he got tangled in the wires. So this guy's reaching over nonchalantly, and he pulls a lever. There's no sound here, but you hear him go clunk. And when he does this, you can see them resetting the wires. Watch, clunk. You see that?
I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
So So this video got taken down. It was I forget which one it was, but it was really good. Taken down off of PBS or whatever it was. And then this one, these guys are doing stuff, and then look in the background. This guy floating by, the layering got screwed up, and we can see the harness on the wire. That guy's supposedly just floating by. You can see the harness and wire.
So that's all green screened in around them, or is that
green screen and harnesses? It's all sorts of stuff.
Set, so like a Hollywood set almost.
She's stuck, hanging from her wires. She got tangled, right? This guy comes in, and you could. It's hard to see here, but you can actually see the wire behind him. You can see the wire in the background. Let me see if it shows right there.
I can kind of see it. Yeah, it kind of looks like it could be connected to that white thing as well, though.
Right. And then these people are coming in. They get watch her wire. It gets caught. It gets caught on the wire. You see that? Watch it gets caught. There's no and she had to unhook it. She had to unhook it. But I'm going to show you this is the end right here. And so this is the company ZFX Effects. Where is it? Okay. This is their flying. They teach you they do flying on harnesses and everything. And this is what they specialize in. And if you go to their customers page, right there, NASA. There you go.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is true, but they say that the bad guys, they have to put in some form of truth of what they're doing in some fashion.
Revelation of the method. Revelation of the method.
And it doesn't have to be exactly like, hey, we're doing this. It's just you have
they tell us they think that frees them karmically. Maybe it does, right? The guys on the shuttle were very happy. They had some fresh fruit brought up, and they're playing with a lemon, and it got knocked out of this area. So this is called augmented reality. Watch this lemon. Watch the hand. This is just a layering issue. Watch. Look at that hand. It looks like a claw. It's crazy. I don't even know if the hand is real, right?
So, is it a shapeshifter? Is it a lizard person, Dave?
Hey, you know what? I'm not ruling out anything, but look at that. You're looking through his hand. Okay. The Globers will go, oh, cosmic rays. You don't understand. Blah, blah, blah. Compression. They make excuses all the time. Right. I don't make excuses. Right.
Would you be up for a debate? I'm sure you probably have done debates with somebody that's like a civil, real like debate where somebody's being respectful and you're just kind of going back and forth.
You know what? I do. I will debate somebody that's new to the topic, not these professional trolls that are out here that'll never learn anything. Like,
yeah, no, I don't mean like a Professor Dave or a Simon Dan or any of these shows. No, I don't mean that.
But I'll do it with somebody else, right? That way,
I don't have anybody in mind. I'm just asking if
you're not going to find anybody that's not dishonest, because anybody that's honest is going to do a little bit of research and they're going to go, holy crap, I never knew. And they're not going to do it.
Well, the guys, Jim Brewer's friends, I thought they did a polite.
So Jim called me the day before and he goes, hey, would it be cool if I brought my high school buddies on? I was like, as long as we have enough time, I want to go over some stuff. And he's like, yeah, we'll go long. It's no problem. I was like, great. So they came on. So he told them the night before, they're like, well, we better do a little research. And they watched my Roseanne Barr podcast, and then they called them up and they go, holy crap. So they came on with their tail between their legs. They're like, what about gravity? What about, and they were already converted just by watching my Roseanne Barr.
Okay. Right? I was curious about that.
Yeah. So again, they did a little research. They came on with their tails between their legs and they're like, I don't know, man.
Well, the sad thing is too, one of them, I think, came across that Sean Atwood interview that I mentioned, the awful, despicable debate that he should be ashamed about.
Right. But the problem with that is a weak mind will be like, oh, that guy, he's making fun of Dave and he sounds so professional and his name is Professor, and they won't think critically. Other people will think and go, wait a minute, he's not making any points. Look, green screen. I
see that. Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell? How many things do you need? Right? How many things do you need?
If look what happens since 2020. We still have people that I would consider to be sheeple. It's like, what the hell? What more has to happen for you to open your eyes here a little bit?
Right. So there's all sorts of stuff that happens, with their green screen. This is his hand. He already moved it. Right. And so on the space station, we have a floppy tortilla door, okay, versus a submarine, which is a less hostile environment. We got this heavy duty steel
door.
A tortilla door. It's literally a tortilla door, right? What the hell is that? And then this is the Chinese space station, which they also forgot to film it being built. But there's a glass of water sitting right here. How do you have a glass of water in space?
Right, because it would. Well, I don't know about the water itself, but the cup would float, wouldn't it?
The water would float too. Everything would just go.
I've seen what it looks like. I guess if blood was to float around, so it'd be similar to water.
And then they're always playing with water, with electrical stuff all over the place. They're playing ball, right? And his head goes out of the range, and it literally goes out of the green screen area, and it gets all distorted, right? You
see his head? Yeah.
Because he wasn't supposed to. They got wires hanging all over the place. They're running around, and
people are going to comment and say blah 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 blah.
They're running around in monkey suits, right? They're playing with water, with electricity all over the place. This is called augmented reality. Sometimes they do it on a zero-G flight, and sometimes they do it with just fake stuff. They always have like a necklace floating around. This is done, right? This is them playing with these. It's called hydrophobic paddles, and they can bounce water around. Look, it's going through the paddle.
Yeah,
because it's augmented reality. So they're supposedly playing with water, but if you look at it,
for anybody that might have played something like Pokemon Go, that's an augmented reality game. It's where you're placing kind of like an artificial reality inside of reality.
Yep. And then this one, they always have like a wire. He's always like playing. Why don't they have a wireless mic? Why don't they have a lapel mic on? Right. But if you watch this wire, it goes right through his wrist. Right. Let me zoom in a little bit.
Oh yeah, that is crazy.
Watch. It's going. Watch.
Maybe we become transparent in space and things can go through us, Dave.
So watch. It goes right through his wrist. It's in his hand.
That's so freaky looking.
Because it's all fake.
I get it, but it just looks so. Yeah, it's crazy.
If I just showed you that one thing, everything NASA does is fake. And this guy's holding the microphone, right? He's upside down. They're in different rooms. The microphone is inside of his neck, and he doesn't miss a note. Okay? It's in his neck. Okay? So, people want to just keep making excuses, right? This is all a scam. And it's until we all wake up and say, no, I'm not. What? Watch this. Where did he come from?
He teleported in. Don't they have? Come on.
Listen, I get you're joking around, but people are serious about this crap. All right. So again, what does this prove? It proves that they're layering nonsense in a green screen studio.
Yeah.
Right.
But it also just shows you how idiotic a lot of people are in the world, that they're just going.
People are mental, and they think that we're nuts, right? They think that we're nuts. The truth is, when you find out the truth of this world, you find out free energy is real. You find out they're hiding more land. They're hiding more technology. They're hiding more people. They're hiding other civilizations. They're hiding our true power. They're hiding the creator. They're hiding your true potential. They're hiding a spiritual war that's going on. They're hiding a bunch of crap. And soon they're going to have a fake alien invasion, right? Have you seen any of these drones? They were over my neighborhood on Saturday here in Connecticut.
Well, I know New Jersey. I didn't know, and they're all around. I think they're sniffing for something. I don't know if you've seen the videos about that.
I think that they're actually using the nanotech that people willfully injected into themselves, and that they're scanning where people are. I think they're scanning. That's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong.
That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. I like people thinking outside the box.
The people have that after becoming a human pincushion, they all of a sudden are emitting MAC addresses, right? Do you know about that?
I've heard that. Yes,
that's a real thing. That the people tested it. They went out in the middle of a field, and then they people were emitting MAC addresses, and then they did a detoxing method, and it went away. I have this stuff that I sell on my website. It's on my app. It's called Masterpiece.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I've actually taken that, and one of the guys that apparently was a founder, has sent me 2 bottles that I haven't taken yet because
dude, it's so good.
Well,
it's so
the
good.
2 bottles that I had taken, I didn't feel like anything had happened with me.
So,
I didn't get
because you're
I didn't feel any
probably pretty
detoxing.
clean. You're probably pretty good. The more toxic you are, the more it's not going to feel good.
And
right?
I definitely didn't participate in the reindeer games during 2020
Yeah.
and 2021, if you know what I'm saying.
But also you're breathing in stuff now, you know, about the stuff that
The aerosol, like
yeah,
sprays.
easy what you say, easy. So
It's my channel, sir.
I know, but it doesn't matter. That when you take this stuff, it literally pulls those heavy metals out, and I didn't feel. I do feel better. I feel great, right?
I'm going to start promoting it though.
Again, yeah, you should totally should.
I've heard so much from so many different people, and I can't say just because I am taking care of myself. I do try to be very healthy, and like I said, I didn't participate in those reindeer games.
Again, and this stuff is easy. It tastes like salt water. You put five drops under your tongue twice a day, morning and night. That's it. It's easy. People want things that are easy, right?
Swish it around a little bit.
People don't get in really good shape because going to the gym isn't easy, right? But some people do, right? There's all sorts of easy hacks that you can do to make yourself healthier and smarter and better and make this world more interesting. And it's an amazing place that we live in.
Well, I will do a video soon about the product and definitely promote it as well, since you mentioned it.
Definitely.
I think the guy's name is Matthew. Does that sound familiar?
I forget the owner's name. I deal with
Matt W, I think.
With the woman.
No, that's the wrong person. Never mind. I'll stop
talking
about
that. Listen, as the time of this recording, Crow just put out an episode about some controversy about Masterpiece, and it's awesome because it really highlights everything. It's episode 605.5, and it's free. Even if you're not a subscriber, go to Crow 777 Radio, CRROW 777 Radio, and listen to episode 605.5.
605.5. Okay.
605.5. And it'll again, when you're over the target, you get a lot of flack. And,
I was going to ask you about it. I'm kind of glad that you brought it up because it wasn't something organically that would have come up. So thank you for sharing that.
There's no coincidences.
I took the stuff a year ago, but like I said, I was trying to be very healthy. My significant other, she participated in reindeer games, and that was the concern.
Well, so if she's significant enough, you participated in reindeer games.
I get that, and that's why when I was taking that stuff, I still wasn't feeling any sort of detox. I didn't feel anything.
Here's the thing: when you're a healthy person, you don't really feel the differences. But when somebody is really toxic, they'll feel it right away. And so I felt it at the beginning. I felt a little something, but then it's like now it's good. Now I'm on a maintenance. I just do a maintenance dose. I just do it at night before I go to bed because it gives you great dreams. And
so you don't take it twice a day anymore? You just take it
sometimes I do, but I've been doing it just at night.
Sorry for the tangent.
No, it's okay. It's all good. There's so much.
I'm glad we talked out there. I'm really glad that we've had this conversation, man. It's been really enjoyable.
All right. So everybody, flatearthDave.com, go to the crash course, check it out, download the app if you want it. It's amazing. It does tons of stuff. Let me just show you the matchmaker, which is the heart symbol right here. So if you go to the matchmaker and let me just change this.
Let me pull you back up here.
Hold on. So you go to the matchmaker, and if I say, okay, I'm just going to put in that I'm born in 2024, so nobody knows, so nobody thinks that I'm
a million years old.
And so
are you 75 years old like Billy Carson?
Male. I'm looking for a female between the age of 36 and 45, we'll just say, right? Because a little older than me, that's nice. And then I put 5,000 miles, so that's going to be a large field. Let me see if I can shorten that. We'll say 150 miles, 200 miles. Let's see, in 200 miles. I might have just screwed it up.
What's the saying? Once you go flat Earth, you never go back?
Once you go flat, you never go back. I screwed it up because let me just go back here. Come on.
I just never really thought about flat Earth dating services. So it's like,
the thing is, when you become a flat Earther,
plenty of fish for flat Earth.
Think how hard dating is going to be, because dating's hard enough. But
crypto now is hard enough dating,
now you have to go out and tell a girl, by the way, I think the Earth is flat. So here are people. I think I have mail checked off. What's going on here?
Are you looking for men?
I'm a male looking for a female.
It's all right if you want to come out of the closet on today's episode,
you can do whatever you want. So I'll say search. All right. So now there's 26 females within that range. Let it load, and we just go from page to page. And then if I want to message somebody, I can just click the messaging icon.
Hey, lady.
And say hello, become friends with them, share some whatever, and it's very cool. It's
Nice.
It's super fun.
I think that's a cool idea. And you said like to get access to the social media, to the dating, and I think you mentioned something else, that it's $11 a year.
$11 a year or 11 referral points, right? So right now, if you get 6 referrals, you'll have 12 points, and then you get it for a year. And the thing is, when you're talking flat Earth with somebody and you show them the app and you pull up a picture and you show them how the sun moves around, everyone says, "Where do I get the app?" Everyone says it. Everyone says it. So on my website, flatearthdave.com, there's the app banner, Android and Apple right now, just mobile devices. It will be available on computers in 2025. And we go from there.
Yeah. So again, it's just a one-time payment of $3. And if you guys do download the application, which obviously would support what Dave's doing, a way that you can support what I'm doing is by using the referral code Weiss when you are registering for it. And again, it's available on iPhone. It's available on Android devices.
Yep.
You can do it on a tablet, obviously.
Tablets, right?
I think it's cool, man. I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out. And what led, I guess, before we get into like the Dome token, why specifically why? Like if you were to give one reason why we're being, from your perspective, being lied to about the shape of Earth, what would that be? What would be the one reason?
Here's one reason. Hiding free energy, hiding the creator, hiding your spirituality, hiding more land, hiding more resources, hiding scientific knowledge, hiding what's in Antarctica, and hiding that you're special and at the center of creation. I said that in one breath, so it counts as one thing.
I would have put hide the creator first, personally.
Well, it is up there.
Because it seems like it comes, that would be the most important thing. Because
here's the thing, I more and more I mention the creator because that is the number one thing. But before I was a flat earther, I was an anti-creator, right? I was listening to a podcast. I'm like, these guys are great. I got 3 pages of notes, and then they say,
you like agnostic or atheist?
Well, I don't know what I was, but I didn't believe in any religions. I didn't believe in God. I believed in the Big Bang, which is made up by a Jesuit priest. I believed in evolution, which is just totally ridiculous. And if somebody says, all right, let's, and then quotes the Bible or says, let's pray, I would immediately tear up the papers and unsubscribe. And that was me. And guess what? A lot of the world is like that. So I've been less cautious, but I'm always cautious is I just want to show people that the earth is flat because then they can't deny creation. Then they're on their own. That's it. Once you're there, and the Big Bang, God could have created the Big Bang, or God might not have created the Big Bang, right? But in a flat earth, there's no random chance. It was created, period. When you see the flat earth, when you see the dead bodies, you no longer can deny creation.
And that's kind of where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Now, the free energy thing, I'm definitely aware of, and I'd like to explore that more with you. I'd really like to explore more about Antarctica.
You want to see some free energy thing?
Sure. And the other thing I'm really curious about is the extra land, because I've gone into this whole idea when they talk about extraterrestrial, the word extraterrestrial means extra Earth.
You ever see one of these?
It looks like it's copper.
It's a copper.
It almost looks like a heater.
It's a free energy. It puts life force energy in your body. It's amazing. And it's you literally connect to it and your body's filled with this electricity. You know those plasma balls that you put your hand there?
And it makes
you
your
become a plasma ball.
Up.
No, it doesn't do that. But if somebody comes near you and holds their finger near you, electricity will shoot from your body and literally connect them with a lightning bolt. That's what's going through your body. And it's called.
It doesn't hurt them?
Not well, it shocks a little bit, but you don't feel it at all. Just the initial but it's life force energy. It's absolutely amazing. Radiant Technologies. I think it's radiant.com. That might be their website. But they're out of Mexico, and I can't even tell you what it does here on YouTube because that would immediately take down your video. It eliminates the letter C from the alphabet from people that get sent home saying you're gonna D because you have C.
Right.
And there's people that are just connected to this, and the C in their brain disappeared.
Interesting.
Yeah, and there's people with that have blood sugar issues where they have to get injections, and they go on the machine for 15 minutes and they don't need an injection for 2 weeks. It's like weird. I don't know what's going on there. It's just a coincidence, I'm sure.
So many coincidences.
Yeah, so many coincidences, so many things.
When you talk about extra lands and hidden civilizations, are you talking about beyond the wall?
Let's talk about that. So again,
and when I say wall, for people that may not be familiar, if we think about the concept that Dave's been explaining, what surrounds what we consider to be our Earth would be surrounded by an ice wall that would actually be Antarctica.
Large bodies of water at rest need containment. Would you agree with that? Can you have a gallon of water without a container?
I mean, you can, but it's not going to do anything. It's just
going to go away. Show me a gallon
on the ground.
No, the edge of that
water. But it won't be contained. You're right.
Well, no, it will. If you have a puddle, the edges of that puddle, the land is higher than the water. It's contained.
Okay.
So
it's like Earth cup.
It's contained. It's contained. The bathtub contains the water. A lake contains the water, right? So whoops, that's not what I want to show you.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole idea of us being a spinning ball of water floating around space, spinning around the sun, spinning around other... that's a lot. That's a lot to think about.
And the problem is people go, I'm just not smart enough. I don't have a pocket protector and a white lab coat. And you literally give up your common sense for nonsense. So you can go on websites, a ship tracking site, and this is a ship tracking site. And we noticed a ship 730 miles inside the shoreline of Antarctica. And we're like, what the hell's going on? You can click on any of these ships. It'll tell you the captain, where they're going, where it's registered, the boat, sometimes what's on it, how long it's at sea, where, destination, everything. We click on this one and it says unknown destination. All it says is it's 850 meters long, which is huge, 80 meters wide. And it's registered to the nation of Kiribati or Kiribati, right? So the question is,
this blew me away when you were like,
oh, you've seen this.
Other people need to see this as well. Kiribati, is that what they also consider to be Christmas Island?
Well, so it's Kiribati is the name. It's pronounced Kiribati. Oh, it's pronounced Kiribati. I hate that it's pronounced, but it's spelled Kiribati with a T, with a B, but Kiribati with a B. You can see it on Google Earth in the middle of nowhere. And the United States, Vietnam, China, they all say, and many countries say it's a very important trade route. Why would a gigantic ship need to go to a sandbar in the middle of the ocean? What are they picking up there? Right? And on that island, there's a Captain Cook hotel. Captain Cook is the guy that supposedly circumnavigated Antarctica. It should have just been a short little trip, 13,000 miles, maybe 10,000 miles around. But it took him 3.5 years, and he went over 68,000 miles, kind of like he's going all the way around the outside of a flat Earth, but that's just a coincidence, right? And so we're like, what is going on there? And if you look at the ships that are all docking there, they all say Christmas Island or destination unknown, which is weird.
But is that island also called Christmas Island?
Some people say it's called Christmas Island. I couldn't find anything about it, but here's the thing. It was called Kiribati until we had videos about it. And now you search Kiribati, it brings you to this island, which is nowhere near it. So usually search Kiribati, bam, you're on there, you're there. But now it takes you here, which is all the way over halfway around the world, or pretty far. And it brings you to a different island. So you type in Kiribati because they changed the name. Just like
how far away was that island that you're talking about?
Thousands of miles.
From Antarctica?
Well, it's in the South Pacific, right? And so if we look at this is the old picture of Kiribati, and you can see that its name, let me zoom in, the old video, and it's, come on, zoom in. What's going on? Why isn't it showing? Let's try again. Oh, there it is. So Karamati, it's called now. I showed you the old video.
Yeah.
And the new video, and they changed it to Karamati from Kiribati. So weird. That's weird. It's kind of like the Georgia Guidestones when we were exposing that deception. They blew them up, right? And did you know that the time zones, there's 19 time zones in the north, 24 in the tropics, and 32 in the south? That makes no sense on a globe. On a flat Earth, it makes sense because those time zones are like pizza slices. They get wider and wider, so you have to start chopping them up on the outside, right? So there's 32 time zones. Makes no sense whatsoever, right? And if you look at this one time zone, you ever see this? This is the dateline. It goes like crazy. It goes across 3.5 time zones.
Yeah, and there's that's a really weird shape because normally you would just see like a line. Like why?
Yeah, it should be 24 lines.
Go up.
It should be 24 lines from the North Pole to the South Pole, cutting up the Earth like sections of an orange, right? And those are your time zones. And time zones actually on a tilted Earth make no sense whatsoever. There's no sense on time zones on a tilted Earth. Okay, so if you don't know what I mean, and Kiribati is right here. What is that spot? What is going on there? Is that I just call that the most suspicious spot? Right. So what is going on? This is what I think is going on.
Let's take a trip there.
Yeah. Well, they say there's nuclear testing that's going on there, so they don't want anybody going there. So where is my map real quick? So here's a map that was discovered in a Buddhist temple, 10 centuries old, published in 1907 in a Hawaiian newspaper. So imagine this map is like this big, it's like this big. And if we take a basketball and we wrap it around the basketball to the point where this South America comes almost to the bottom, then all of this would have to be crunched into the bottom. And they're saying that's Antarctica, which you're not allowed to explore independently. Right?
Right.
And so
it's the only place that we have peace.
So if you had a ship that went out here, well, the GPS tracking with their glitch doesn't know what to do with it, so it puts it on Antarctica.
Yeah, I was wondering if beyond, like outside the last circle on that picture, if that was the extra land. But you're saying
this is the extra land. This is the extra land out here. Extra territory.
Antarctica. It's beyond Antarctica.
Well, the Antarctica doesn't exist as shown. The shoreline of Antarctica is just this shoreline right here. So like all of this white space, this is Antarctica. Okay. But if you went out farther, maybe these continents are out here. This is
see, I've explored this rabbit hole as well, because like apparently there are supposedly some breaks in the ice, or there are tunnels or ways for ships or things to get through to the other side, because I've heard things like a lot of our resources come from there. Again, I was bringing up that term extraterrestrial. That has nothing to do, if you want to use the word planet or whatever, it has nothing to do with off this planet, off Earth. It means extra to Earth. That's what extraterrestrial means. And so if we have extraterrestrials, it's those that live beyond the wall that we're not aware of.
Extra terra in the outer space.
Yeah, which is actually in a way not lying if you say it like that.
Right? So here is, our world, and this is the shoreline of our world. Captain Cook went all around Antarctica, right? And it took him 68,000 miles. It took him 3.5 years. That's a big trip rather than a short trip around a small thing. But imagine this. So this is where you live. There's some more continents out here, maybe even other ponds out here, maybe, right? And the controllers go, you know what? Nobody can independently go behind here. We'll have bases, 8 different bases, naval bases run by the UN and the Crown, and stopping anyone from independently exploring. And this is inhospitable land. Like, even if they let you go there, you'd probably die. Okay. There's no humans, there's no bugs, there's no lice, there's no plants, there's nothing. Right. And that could just be that zone. And maybe that's the end. Maybe there's nothing out here, but we don't know. But how they can make us not realize that we're on a flat Earth, a created Earth. Whether there's land out there or not, I think there is. Other people think there's not. Cool. Doesn't matter. Right. But they cut it out. Right. So you got the land. So this is Antarctica. And they just cut it out and then they wrap it around a sphere. And they say, you can only go right here to this little peninsula, Rothschild Island or Deception Island, but no one's allowed to independently explore here because this doesn't exist as a continent. This is the outer lands.
Yes.
Right.
That makes, that again, I mean, I've thought about that. And again, with the fact that we have all these nations supposedly in that location, and they're all working together, or at least have no sort of, they're not letting what happens in the normal world affect what's happening there. So you have good international relations between all the nations right there in Antarctica. Why is that? And also another thing too that's not brought up a lot is, why are there religious leaders of churches? I think the Russian Orthodox Church leader, I think the Pope. Why are there politicians going to Antarctica? Some of that stuff doesn't make sense. They
disappear for a couple days and then they reappear and they go back home. I think the real rulers, the fallen angels that rule this world, live there, and they tell the puppets that we call the elite what the game plan is and what they're supposed to do. And I think the highest elite know. John Kerry knows. He went on election day to Antarctica. You know, the top leaders go and they're getting their marching orders from stuff that we can't even imagine. I believe we get our computer chips from out there. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not, there's no way that I'm going to say that there's no way that that's not true. That's all I'm going to say is there's a lot more weird information pointing to this. So, I mean, that's why I'm kind of glad that we brought up this Antarctica thing and talking about it, because it's obvious in a way, but not obvious as far as the hiding of the shape of the continent versus the wall and what's behind it. That's just, I'm not saying it's too big. It's just, it makes sense.
It doesn't make sense that we live on a globe.
But when you think about it from trying to hide the creator, that's what makes sense.
Right. And if you go to the Moorland section on the books, there's great books. The Navigator Across the Ice Wall, The Smoky God, The Iron Republic. And also, if you go to the biblical section, there's some great books there. The Flat Earth Bible just came out. It's a great book. I'm halfway through it. There's a teaching book, Biblical Cosmology. There's all sorts of stuff.
That's not showing up on the screen. Books. I don't know if you're trying to show it. Damn, I just saw you pointing, so I just figured I would say something.
No, that's it.
Too deep.
Thank you. Most people just let me just blab away. So
I do this too, so I don't want to look bad. I don't want you to look bad.
The Moorland section, right? The Navigator Across the Ice Wall, Iron Republic, Smoky God, right? And then, I go back to the biblical, and there's great the Flat Earth Bible, awesome. I wrote the foreword in that book, by the way, and a kid's book called "Who Said the Earth Is Flat?" Amazing, mind blowing, about a father who is a flat earther and his kids in elementary school, and he has to deal with, they're teaching him the globe there. And then they kind of discover, what God says and what science says. And it's a great story for adults and for kids. Amazing book. And all sorts of stuff. I mean, it's the amount of information is endless. So if you're ever bored, just know that you're not following your life path properly, because boredom doesn't exist.
It shouldn't. No, not if you're in the right place. Real quick, I'm going to pull up on screen your website again. If people want to know, I'll have this link down below and I'll put it in the pinned comment, flatearthdave.com. You can see everything that we've talked about. You can get all of the social media links, all the YouTube channels. And again, if you want to download the application for iPhone or for Android devices, you could do it from the app links. And I encourage you to make sure you're using that referral code RICE when you're downloading and setting up your account on the application. Was there anything? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, take it slow. Download the app and just watch the daily video. Then you're home at night, you want to kick back, you're home from work. Instead of turning on Netflix, go to the featured video section, to the movies section, and throw that up on your TV, right? Go to the full-length videos, and there's great videos on there, really great videos. Whether you believe the Earth is flat or not, they're going to blow your mind. So there you go.
Awesome, man. Was there, again, I do want to have more conversations with you, and I do want to talk about the dome token and stuff here in just a moment, but was there anything else in regards to the flat earth stuff that you wanted to go over on this particular conversation?
No, we're good. Let's hit the dome thing, and then we could call it a day.
Okay, cool. And like I said, I want to take this portion of the video and put it on the Rice Crypto side of Rice TVX so that people can be aware of what's going on here. I've actually, years ago, it's been a while. It's been about 4 years. I've had Richard Hart on the channel, who was the creator.
You had Richard on. Nice.
Yeah. I've interviewed a lot of important people in the crypto space and otherwise. So I'll send you a list of some of those people.
Yeah. We can talk about Richard Hart, but go ahead.
So, what led to the idea of you creating Dome Token, and what made you decide to choose Pulse Chain for the token?
Good questions. So my co-host Matt Long, who wrote a great flat Earth book called "The House That Jesus Built," he came up with the idea and created the token, and we decided that to make it the official token of the Flat Earth Clock app. And the way that we mine coins is you refer people to the app. When someone gets the app, they literally are awakened. So you're opening their mind and you're minding coins, right? So
minding.
We're minding. Go to domeshot.io. The white paper's there. And so by waking,
is that DOMESHOT?
Domeshot, yes, DOMESHOT.io.
And can you pull up the website on your end? Because I'm having an issue. I just want to make sure it wasn't something with me.
Domeshot.io. No, you should be able to do it.
Well, I don't know if the site. It's saying the site can't be reached. So that's why I want to ask.
Let me see if that's an issue.
And that way, by the time people are watching this, I can. Well, if it's something I can screen share, I will. Otherwise, hopefully, it's just on my end.
No, it opened right up. Domeshot. DOMESHOT.io.
DOMESHOT.io.
Yeah.
Let me show you what I got. Well, I'm not going to pull up it on screen, but
I can share. Let me share.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm just getting off that screen, and I'll show you what I've got after the video. But obviously, it's available for other people to see it. I just want to make sure this wasn't a problem for other people.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on there.
You're not doing the share yet, unless you're putting it on your.
I'm not doing the share yet. I'm just.
My computer has like massive firewall stuff because I deal with crypto and I don't want to be hacked and I got to protect myself. I'm not saying that your site's hacking by any means, but it will prevent me from accessing certain things.
All right. So here is, let me see if I can show this. Here is domeshot.io, right?
Okay.
And you scroll down. This is Matt talking about the token. Showing you how to get the app, how to buy Domeshot. It's
available. It's available on like some decentralized exchanges on the Pulse Chain network.
Yep, and it's going. And then this is about
and then
minding.
You can earn it by minding it.
By minding it, so you can earn free tokens. And we tell people, the no coiners that are afraid to get into crypto, that are asking questions about crypto, this is a great way to learn how to open a wallet, learn how to move crypto around with zero risk. You're just getting, free tokens. So start there. So yearly we have at the end of the year, we have the flattening. So the amount that you earn per referral goes down each year. So it's kind of like the halving. It's the flattening. Okay. And after the beginning of the first quarter, right now, all the referrals that you have, you'll be paid 1.5 million tokens from the beginning of time through Christmas. And then after that, as soon as it becomes active, hopefully we'll be ready by then. Anytime you get a referral, you instantly get the transfer to your wallet. And we couldn't do that on any other network except the Pulse Chain. Why the Pulse Chain? So we did, and then down on the bottom, here's the chart. And the white paper roadmap. Can't see your coins. A lot of people don't know how to add. They need to add Pulse Chain. You got to add Pulse Chain and add the token. And the token address is right down here for you. And so,
did you say though, real quick, that you can convert the points that you get on the app into tokens, or
you're getting tokens for all the points that you have from the beginning of time through December, you get 1.5 million per point.
Okay.
And so you'll get them all as a big airdrop, and we'll talk about that in a second. But then after, for next year, it's going to drop from 1.5 million probably to 1 million per referral, but you'll get them in real time. You get your referral, your app will go bing, somebody use your referral code, and then it'll go cha-ching, you just got your dome, right? And that's kind of fun, don't you think?
Oh, I like the way that you're making it easily accessible where somebody doesn't have to put any actual money into it and can play around, because I think it's almost like a test net in a sense that has a use case, a utility.
It's getting people onto the Pulse chain. There's so many people in crypto that don't know that they own Pulse chain tokens, right?
I've actually, I got a note to myself about using my ledger and trying to figure out connecting to a MetaMask and claiming my Pulse chain tokens based off of the Ethereum.
Yeah, just go there and add your tokens. It's so friggin' easy. And we use on the app, we recommend Internet Money Wallet because it connects straight through. It's amazing. They have our token on there, so it's easy to add it.
Desktop and or smartphone.
I know it's smartphone, but I think they have a desktop also. I have to look because I use that on my wallet on my phone.
Cool.
So when we first started, we said, okay, add your crypto wallet address to your referral area, and anyone that has it entered on 9/11. I'll tell you what, we picked 9/11 because you're going to get an airdrop of 33 million dome just for adding your address. Okay. And the reason it's 33 million is because we wanted to make the airdrop worth about $10, and $10 in dome at that time was 32,987,000 dome. And I was like, hey, if we round it up to 33 million and do the airdrop on 9/11, that'll piss everyone off. Okay. Because, Illuminati confirmed we're using 33 and it's on 9/11. And it's like, you can't pay. That's Richard Hart advertising. Come on.
Yeah. Okay? Yeah. I totally get it. Yeah.
And boy, did it get us some publicity. And it was good. And the token actually, as most new tokens do, they run up and then, they do what crypto does. They crash a little bit. But we went up to like $8 million, $7 or $8 million market cap too fast, right?
Pumped.
And it pumped, but which is good. It's got a healthy chart. Listen, it's got a healthy chart. And again, if you're not ready for ups and downs, you're not ready for crypto.
I have to ask, what's the max supply?
1 trillion.
1 trillion. Okay.
Yeah, and so when we did the airdrop on the Ethereum chain, it would have cost like $2 per person.
Right. It's ridiculous.
Chain, we did how many did we do? 1,500, about 1,500, and it costs us a total of less than $3.
Well, I had already been trying to talk with you about doing the interview, and then I had seen something, and it took a minute, obviously, to get for me to get it scheduled because of my shit I was telling you about. But there's a friend of mine, Crypto King, on X, and he's big into the Pulse hex ecosystem. He's been doing a lot of promoting of the dome token, and that's how I came to my radar. I'm awesome. Like, oh, interesting. We have a flat Earth token.
Yeah, I'm a Hexakin since day one. And the thing is, flat Earth isn't going away, right? Isn't going away. There's a lot of FUD and people freaking out about this circling sun. Flat Earth is only going to get bigger and bigger. Once you go flat, you don't globe back, right?
You don't globe back.
Yeah, you don't globe back.
Do you have shirts for that too?
No, I don't.
You need to get some shirts with that on there.
Maybe. It's just going to get bigger and bigger. And here's the thing, people have like hobbies, they're into whatever, sports cars or whatever it is. And then you kind of grow out of it. You don't grow out of flat Earth. Once you know the Earth is flat, it's the rest of your life is on your mind every single day because it's an amazing, amazing place. So again, we did something that, the way you mind it is waking up people. And the goal here is to wake up the world, because when the whole world wakes up to flat Earth, all of that money is going to just collapse because all governments in the world will collapse, right? And the whole thing will the dollar will be gone. The dollar will probably be gone next year. Probably. But then we're going to be in a digital money world, and there's going to be two worlds. You can go into the CBDC in your 15-minute city. Well, Am I still there?
You froze up for a second, yeah, but you came right back on. You're good. You're good. I didn't know that you were into crypto. I didn't know you were into crypto and the World Economic Forum.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Yeah, it's nice, man. Do you talk about other stuff on your channel other than the flat Earth?
I don't really. I go on other shows and I'll talk about health. I'll talk about crypto. I'll talk about flat Earth.
I'm just curious because I didn't know you were this hardcore into crypto. I mean, when you call yourself a hexagon, that's
I'm a hexagon since day one, my friend. Day one.
That's hardcore, homie.
Right? Yeah, and also I sacrificed big, for a pulse chain. Could have done it later, and done even better, but it's all good. And I'm a big fan of Richard Hart. I think he might be the smartest guy in crypto.
One of them, yeah. He's definitely a smart dude. A smart dude, but there's some things that he probably could have been smarter about doing.
Maybe. Yeah, listen, there's things I could have been smarter about.
I
actually went to Brooklyn. I was at his trial, his hearing, a month ago or 2 months ago, whatever it was.
Was he there?
No, he wasn't there, but there was about 75 of us there, and it was wild. And boy, the SEC was fucking getting their ass handed to them. Right? Yes. The judge was like, she's just gonna rule it right now. It really felt that way. And so afterwards, I was on a show with not Crypto Coffee, with Brandon Davis. What's his channel? It's spacing, but Brandon is a big crypto guy. And I said, he goes, what do you think's going to happen? I think all those SEC guys are going to go home and tell their family and friends to buy Hex. And Hex tripled the next day. Okay.
Oh, nice. I think I remember because I think I saw something in a chart where a lot of the Hex and Pulse ecosystems started to take off a little bit.
Yeah, because there's I mean, I don't want to jinx anything, but it's looking good. I mean, and the timing on all of this couldn't be better. I just encourage people. People say, Dave, what should I buy? And I'm like, I'm not telling you to buy anything, right? I'm not even telling you to buy Dome. I'm not telling you to buy Hex. This is what I buy. This is what I like.
If somebody was going to get into the space, I mean, I think you should start with Bitcoin, even though I still have mixed feelings about Bitcoin. Real quick, since we're talking about it, though, I will tell you, Stand With Crypto, which is a nonprofit that works with or in conjunction with Coinbase. They're doing a lot of political stuff, and they were trying to help with Donald Trump and educating different politicians, helping people to be able to communicate to their politicians about pro-cryptocurrency bills and stuff and how they want them to be able to vote and stuff like that. There's texts that have been coming through the past couple of days. Last one yesterday. The Senate is still considering reappointing the anti-crypto Caroline Crenshaw to the SEC. Key committee meeting is now scheduled for Wednesday, which would be tomorrow.
Oh boy!
So it's not exactly as if we're clear. So I just want people to everyone to be aware of that. But
again,
I think it's going to be a good 4 years for crypto overall, though, the ecosystem. I'm not saying price, but for crypto.
So I'm definitely not giving financial advice other than get into crypto, put in some money. The way I look at it, if someone's really nervous about crypto, I say, figure out which coins you like, put in enough money where if you lose it, it's not going to change your life. But if something else happens, it will change your life.
Well, that's why I would say don't ever invest more than you're willing to lose.
Exactly. And it's more fun than just wasting money. I mean, people go gambling. They don't want to put $100 in crypto, but they'll go spend $300 at the casino.
Lottery tickets to go to the strip club. They buy alcohol, drugs. I mean, sugar. There's sugar daddies, sugar babies.
I wasn't early enough in crypto. My son came to me and said, "Hey, Dad, can we mine Bitcoin on our computer?" And this is back when Bitcoin was at like $4, or and I was like, the hell's that? I didn't even know what it was. And then a couple of days later, he's like, we really need to do this. I look at it and I go, oh, you missed it. It's $7 already. It was $3 last week. Right. I go, you missed it.
Yeah. I've always tried telling people, and I still do it periodically, make mistakes. And I'm like, don't dwell on the should-haves, the could-haves, or the would-haves.
No, I know that's
just learn. Just learn. So your son was very forward thinking.
I'll tell you what our goal, Matt, and our goal is. Our goal is to look at each other one day on our podcast and go, can you believe we gave out $10,000 per referral? That's our
as
goal.
far as the price, as far as
Yeah,
the price
like
of
if Dome did if Dome did, what friggin' Doge did, it would be a funny conversation to have. But the thing is, we have more utility than them. We're actually going to add a store on the app where we have conferences and products. You're going to be able to buy them with
things
Dome
directly with the token. Nice.
And we're gonna do all sorts of stuff.
You do special events where you had to be a token holder to event.
Absolutely. And we also reward for holding, because at the end of the year, so there's a lot of people that if you don't put a wallet address in, if you let's say you don't put your wallet address in and you get a point, that the bot's going to go, I'm going to send it to your wallet, 1.5 million. And then it goes, oh, there's no wallet. So it sends it to a default wallet. And the majority of the referrals are going to go to the default wallet. At the end of the year, we look at all of the wallets that are in the app and we divide up that money based on how much you have in your wallet. So if you had 10 million and I had 1 million, you're going to get 10 times what I get out of that default wallet.
That's nice. That's pretty cool what you guys are doing, man.
Yeah, so it's a little holding thing. And listen, can you game the system? Sure. On January 31st, you can go buy 100 million Dome, stick it in your wallet, then get the bonus and then sell it. You could, or you could hold it,
You're always going to have people in the community that are always going to sell a token. I mean, you can't hold something forever.
There's people that took their 33 million and sold it for almost $200. Good. No. All right. Listen, I don't. People can do whatever they want, and there's nothing wrong with taking profits.
$3 too. There were some people that sold their Bitcoin at $3 too.
Absolutely. And the thing is, if you bought Bitcoin at $3, you probably sold some at 10 and 20 and 30 and 50 and 100 and 1,000. If you're holding on, very, very few people held on from $3 up. Some did.
Yeah. So it kind of has to at this point, but yeah. I'm surprised that that you know crypto this well, man.
I wouldn't call myself an expert, but when I first heard about crypto and I started trying to do it, I'm like, I'm never going to learn this. But now it's not that hard. It's like cool. It's like swimming, I guess. I don't know.
Well, again, I like the way that people can just, in a sense, earn these tokens without having to actually buy them, and they get to dip their feet in the ecosystem and see what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. We onboarded almost 1,500 people on day one of the launch. So getting people on the Pulse chain is amazing. When I unstake, when I have to close out a stake of Hex, it costs me $200, $300, $500, depending.
In gas because of the Ethereum network.
Yeah, but on Pulse Chain, it cost me a penny because I have the same stake over there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, did the same stake fork over?
Yes, they all forked over. So I have stakes on both. One of them cost me hundreds of dollars. The other one cost me a fraction of a penny. Right? So, Richard did something amazing here. And there's so many, know what I like?
Well, Richard is like the flat earth of crypto.
Well, he hates flat Earth, by the way.
I know, but whether he likes it or not, he is still the flat Earth of crypto at this point.
I'm down with that.
I'm gathering that.
So, listen, I think Richard Hart's Pulse chain it could be the dominant chain, but what the hell do I know? But the thing is, it's getting so much flack. It's making me more confident that he's over the target. He's getting so much flack. I'm like, he's got 100% uptime on everything. His network is amazing. And, when we're transferring Dome, it's boom, it's seconds and it's less than a penny.
I've heard positive things. And like I said, I got to claim my tokens with the Hex thing. Because the way you would have got Hex originally was based off of you owning Bitcoin. And there was a snapshot of the Bitcoin blockchain. And then you could mint your own Hex based off of the snapshot, your address, etc. Yeah. And then you could essentially buy Hex by transferring Ethereum to an address and getting Hex. And that all went to, from what I understand, the creator, without me saying anything else. And I think that wasn't one of the smartest moves. But again, there's several people in the cryptocurrency space that have been made to look like they're bad for the space and enemies of the space when it's actually the opposite. And it's the same thing that we're seeing in the regular mainstream media that takes place in the world. where it's controlled by certain entities, and they control the message that's coming out. So your coin telegraphs, your coin desks and all, they don't promote people like Richard Hart. For a minute, they wanted to stay away from Charles Hoskinson from Cardano, but with his association with the Trump administration, they really couldn't ignore that. Roger Ver is another individual. His book is right behind me. I don't know if you saw his interview with Tucker Carlson. If you haven't seen the interview with Tucker Carlson that Roger Ver just did, he's been arrested just like a week ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So he got arrested in Spain. I see, one of my things that I did was I interviewed John McAfee. I did 7 interviews with him, and he ultimately got arrested for tax issues in Spain, and he never made it home. Roger got arrested in Spain for tax issues, but the difference was Roger expatriated his U.S. citizenship, became citizen of St. Kitts and maybe possibly Japan. And the United States government with IRS is saying that some tax stuff years ago that he didn't do something properly, and they're arresting him for some tax issues, and he's facing 109 years in prison.
Yep, I'm aware.
So Tucker Carlson found out about this and brought him on the show to bring some more awareness to that whole thing. And I put Richard Hart in the category of the Roger Veers and Charles Hoskinsons and the people that are doing really good for the cryptocurrency space that are being made to look bad by the media. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. How everything correlates. We're at the 2-hour time mark, man. Yep. I thank you for your time, man. I want to be conscientious of that. I definitely want to get you back on. I hope that you're interested in doing future conversations.
Sure, reach out. We'll set up something. I'm kind of booked solid to mid-January. So
no, I get you. I get you. I'll stay in touch, but I got to talk with you about the app and stuff. I will text you. Before we wrap things up, do you have any final thoughts? Anything that you want to add to this conversation, my friend?
Don't believe anything anybody says. Verify everything yourself. FlatEarthDave.com. Watch the crash course. Get the app, of course. And take it slow. And then as soon as you realize that you're not on a spinning ball, don't blab it to everybody, especially at the Christmas table next week, because you'll alienate yourself. You need to understand what you're saying and be able to answer the questions. And they're all answerable. The globe is ridiculous. And one thing flat earthers have in common is we all wonder how we ever believed in the globe nonsense.
Well said, my friend. Well, I definitely look forward to more conversations. I want to wish you happy holidays. If you could bear with me 1 second, just going to do a quick wrap up and stop recording. So again, I'm going to have links down below for Dave's website. So make sure you're checking out flatearthdave.com. Make sure you're downloading the application. When you download the application, make sure you're using the referral code RICE, R-I-C-E, so you can support the channel, which would be greatly appreciated. Check out the Dome token, the website. Again, these will be linked down below in the video description and the pinned comment. As always, I encourage you to be a blessing to others. Treat people how you want to be treated. Be the glitch you want to see in this matrix. Be the change you want to see in this world. Know yourself. Question everything. And until next time.
Thanks.